Hello, hello everybody. I'm making this video just to, as a Scorpio, just to let people know, people who wants to understand Scorpio, having hard time in their relationship with a Scorpio. Just want to help them because I'm a Scorpio, and the best person to teach about a Scorpio is really a Scorpio. So you will find on the internet that everybody's saying, "Oh, Scorpios with secretive." They give you characteristic of a Scorpio, but they're not really going in depth about why a Scorpio is secretive. Because being secretive has to have a result. The result of being secretive. That's what we need to talk about. If we are jealous or whatever they say or possessive, the result of being possessive. So is when you get to understand that. That's when you really get to understand a Scorpio. Uh, First, I want to start into secretive. Let's say I meet a beautiful lady, and first thing in my mind is to get to know the person, because once you meet somebody, if you like them based on a physical image or something they had said, or the energy, which people call their vibe. So first thing that happens, because a circle, we tend to be very psychic, so we tend to read that of somebody if we like their energy. So that's when we get to start to talk to them and starting to read them, because we're good at reading people. So once we read you, we find out your energy, and now if we take interest in you, and that's when we tend to move on with the relationship and so on. But for me to help you understand Scorpio, I have to really talk about myself, because I'm a Scorpio. And people tend to not understand Scorpio because people are not willing to take the time to understand Scorpio, because people are not willing to take the time to understand the art of knowing something to be true, holding something to be true. How can you find out if something is true, the true characteristic of something? How can you find that out? The only way you can find the true characteristic of something is by watching that thing without bias. So Scorpio, we are born with this psychic ability where we can watch something without any bias, because that's when that entity which you are watching tends to reveal itself automatically. That's why when they say a Scorpio will just look at you and knows who you are, really are inside, and what are you capable of doing. So either should they want to move on with the relationship or not. And so now I want to speak on to the result of us being secretive. Because once you're in a relationship with somebody, you're not willing to invest the time into knowing them. Because if I'm Scorpio, I have a girlfriend. If she's not willing to invest her energy in knowing to me, because we as a Scorpio understand that's the only way you can truly know somebody is by investing your own energy into getting to know that person, is by watching somebody without bias. The act of watching somebody without bias is really spiritual, is really psychic, like they say, oh, Scorpio is psychic. Because if you watch something without you already having any idea about that thing, then now that's when that you are watching get to reveal itself to you, because you are watching it without the knowledge of you knowing. Because if you knew why, then why are you watching? If you know that person, why are you watching that person? If you know that thing, if you know the characteristic of something, or if you know what holds that thing to be true, so why are you watching it with bias? Why are you watching it knowing that you know you have to watch something without the bias, without the knowledge of you knowing, and that's when that thing reveals itself to you. So that's why as Scorpio we tend to watch people and we do it without bias. And once you do that, it becomes really magical. And as far as being secretive, because we understand that if you're not taking the time to watch us without bias, you are not capable of loving. How can you capable of loving when you're trying to understand something which you love, but you're really having all sort of superficial ideology about that thing? You can never understand the thing for itself, for its being, if you already giving it in a characteristic. So, and the result of us being secretive is for us to protect ourselves, because if you're watching me with bias, you automatically does not know who I am. So then you're gonna find me secretive. You're gonna find me not really reveal myself to you because you think to know me. And sometimes in that relationship, the girl or the male or the female tends to go crazy saying, I cannot understand that person. Now you cannot understand the Scorpio because you're watching it with a bias. And so once you thought you know them, and like, oh man, but he does something different because you thought that you knowing them, that's something you implanted in your head. You did that for yourself. You never really get to know them. So to help you understand Scorpio is me telling you to watch a Scorpio, get to know them, take the time, because loving in something is caring, is taking the time to know them. So if you take the time to watch them and get to know them without bias, you will learn the deep of a Scorpio, and that is secret. It's really secretive. It's really beautiful. Not even Scorpio in a human being, that you watch something without bias, and once you can watch anything without bias, it reveals itself to you. That it's in any level of spirituality, of self-knowledge. And they say Scorpio, we are possessive, but I don't see it that way, because once you love something, you tend to keep that thing in hold. You tend to hold that as a treasure. You tend to fold yourself, because loving something is to hold that thing in your possession, in your caring. So you guys saying, oh, in the internet, I'm hearing people saying that Scorpios are possessive. No, it's not possessive. It's the language of love. Because if you love something, you have to hold that thing, that someone you love, into your arm, into your possession. You have to, you see, you have to love them, and you have to hold them in your possession. So it's not that you're possessive, because you tend to find out a Scorpio will do that, and they also let you be free. So how can that is possessive when a Scorpio like to be alone? Sometimes we Scorpio like to be alone, so that means we also like our partners sometimes to be alone. So that means me personally, if I'm in a relationship, I let that the female does whatever she wants, because I know if she loved me, she would not, she would commit to me, and she would not go astray. And so why would I be possessive in terms of holding that person to some kind of pedestal, but holding that person as mine, possessive, as something that I own? No, it's not that we hold them as something that you we own, but we hold them as something to be valuable. Holding at something to be valuable and holding at something that you own is two different perspectives. So we're not possessive, but we hold all love. We hold the person we care for to be valuable. And something they say about Scorpio, and again, that we are jealous. And again, we don't. I don't see it that way because, like I say, we tend to let our spouse or significant other do what they wish to do, what they ought to do to succeed, and everything like that. So the key thing I'm wanna emphasize on is just that if you are in a relationship with a Scorpio, you need to invest the time to get to know them. You need to watch them with that bias, and that is love. Thank you so much. I'm not trying to keep this video long. And please meditate on the thought that of watching something without bias, and that thing will reveal itself to you. Because once you do that, that's when you really get to know something. Because you only can know something 100% when that thing give itself to you. Thank you very much, and namaste.